Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, it's Friday's the day of the week. We turn to the BonBon buddies over on Patreon and say, hey guys, vote us in the map. And they've gone with this dark and gloomy thing. Now, I am to blame for this being dark and gloomy, but only because I've been trying to do the right thing, as opposed to it being out of my control. Today's theme and LUT are accessible only to Hadith's patron supporters. Great creator, great theme and LUT. We're using the suggested theme as an alternative, and in terms of the LUT, I've found the one which seems to be closest, but it's not quite an exact match. But it's as close as I could do without spending all day doing it. So hopefully you can bear with me through this dark and gloomy. Check the screenshots when we get to that part. You'll see that those are also a little bit dark and gloomy. Anyway, we'll have a dark and gloomy show, shall we? Shall we do this in a dark and gloomy way? Is it time for a reminder? That's right, being gloomy about hitting that like button really is a way to make yourself miserable. Come on, let's perk up. Let's have a happy day, shall we? Today's map is Hospental by ALPENTRAINER. There's your first. It's quite dark. Is the land quite dark? I would say the land is quite dark in that little image there. There's your start square. We have a little bit of a rail in the top left hand corner as well, coming in from that little light patch of land. Then we have enough flat land to build a decent looking city on this, I would say, and plenty of interesting shapes to build around. And resources, we've got splashes of resources as well. There's lots of good stuff gone into this one. In terms of Sunset Harbour, if you have Sunset Harbour, your fishing map looks like this, and that is pretty good too. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, we need mass transit. You will need mass transit for this one. The generic tree pack and the lodgepole pines as well. Again, today's theme will be using the suggested Cedar Valley 4K theme, and I found that the coastal LUT, which is a good LUT, was about the closest that I could find. But yes, I was tweaking around with Ultimate Eye Candy and Relight, trying to find a setting that was about right, and this was about as close as I could get to the screenshots. I spent too long doing this. I probably spent about half an hour trying, and this is as close as I could get. All sirens for the BonBonBingo players. There it is. So yeah, if you play BonBon, link is always in the description for anybody playing BonBonBingo or wanting to play BonBonBingo. Anyway, yes, enough about that. But yeah, Hadith's theme. If you want it, it is well worth a little donation to Hadith, because they are, and that's a couple of the best things on the workshop. It's sometimes, if you're prepared to pay for a bit of DLC every now and then, maybe just a little bit of support here and there for our creators, just occasionally. It's not that I don't have a Patreon channel, just a little one. Anyway, let's carry on. Let's stop fretting about this one. We've got in terms of highways, there's this one highway that comes in from one side of the map, and it links down to a national road structure. Now, the national road structure, I'm guessing, is based on the real life location, because we are in a real life location today in Switzerland. More about that during the factoid. I don't want to spoil it too much. We've got a little bridge here. Now, I haven't checked the real life location, but I am imagining they haven't gone for a suspension bridge at this point. It seems a bit of an overkill, and the central pillars are a bit central, and I think just a regular spanned elevated road there would have done probably a more believable job. Probably, maybe. Anyway, on the whole, we don't have any trees on the roads today, but there are a few, like, here. And you'll see in other locations that it's clearly been worked around. That ALPENTRAINER knows how to avoid having trees under the road. There aren't too many occasions, but they are there. And yes, of course, if you're playing without any form of anarchy, they will stay hidden under the road. It's only because of anarchy settings that they're showing through, but we like to know that they're there. We do. It's one of those this is where we find your next tier creators, and sometimes even the top tier creators miss a few trees under the roads. Anyway, we have this roundabout. Now, this roundabout is a little bit weird because we have a little bit of two-way traffic in one section. Now, I believe this is done deliberately. It's probably based on the real-life location, and I would say Traffic Manager Present Edition is going to be required to really make the best of this one. Stop that traffic doing that loop, taking the shortcut. Now, traffic should be doing the full loop, and then only going straight on if it's going to go straight on. So yeah, a little bit of Traffic Manager is suggested by me, if not by ALPENTRAINER. It's just a good thing. We have boats. We have boats on the lake. We're in Switzerland, so we're landlocked, just a little bit landlocked, and we got a bit of traffic. Shaduggans going on there. We're going with Shaduggans as a word. We head on towards the start square. So yes, the big ships. Yeah, whilst we are on the lake, we're landlocked. I don't think that matters too much for gameplay. Having a shipping route doesn't matter. Yeah, if you don't want to use the shipping route, don't. If you want to use it as a lake and have some smaller assets off of the workshop, you can. Just having the shipping routes on what is obviously a lake to anybody who knows the geography, I don't think that really matters at all. And if anything, it adds a little bit to the potential gameplay. So credit for that. Right, well, we're heading up through some hills. There are hills. There be hills. And skiing, apparently. Hospental, again. That's just another little thing I picked up off of the wiki while I was having a little look at the wiki. Liking this next little thing. I'm not even going to harp on this. I'm just going to hop over it. But we elevate. We go elevated. We come to ground elevated. And then elevated again. I like that. I can believe that that's how it is in real life. It's done in a way that I'm actually buying into that. You can find arguments that I may have said in the past in a different review that something like that looks silly. Yeah, it can to me sometimes, and sometimes you look at it and you go, yeah, I believe it. And on that one, I believe it. I still think maybe a little bit more detailing work around it to show that maybe that is exactly how it should be, But I'm okay with all of that, and I'm okay with all these lovely roads and switchbacks, and it's all solid work. We also have some rail. The rail leads directly into the start square, which is nice. It just sticks its nose in as well, so if you are looking to do a little bit of rail from the off, you have access right. You have to buy into a second tile or a third. You are good and golden straight off. But yes, I was so tempted with the colour settings just to make it brighter, and so we could see. But then if I did that, I probably would have been criticised for not matching up the theme and light enough. So I was kind of always going to be on a loser for this one. But yeah, I think we're still. I mean, we're in Switzerland. In Switzerland, the fresh air. Oh, such fresh air in Switzerland. So I've been told. So I've been told. Oh, great country. Right in the middle of everything and staying completely neutral. And they make cheese as well. Oh, I'm digressing because there's not too much more to say apart from, oh look, we've made the start square, which means one of these.
You have thousands of mods and assets and find controlling them burdensome. Did you know that the workshop has a way of helping to control your subscription? Find out more with BonBonB's collections tutorial.
And so back to Hospental by ALPENTRAINER and those shipping routes. And while I don't mind the shipping routes, and I don't mind there's even a shipping route looping around and going in one side, coming back the other side, you'll see when we get to the top, it just feels a little bit awkward. I think I would have liked it to have stopped about here, with maybe just a straight on section for anything coming down to the end. Because we do have this awkward looking right angle turns. Every ship is going to be looping around that, whether you want them that close to the edge of the map or not. We've got a little bit of water flow. We got rivers. While it's not the strongest water flow, and I do like a bit of water flow in the start square, we've got we have got water in multiple spots across and around the map. So no matter what, I think you're going to be able to avoid, if you are going to be pumping pollution into your water, I think you're going to be able to avoid polluting and killing your people. If you're clever. Like me. Oh man. Never be like me. Anyway, the map looks amazing. The map looks absolutely lovely. We've got some nice shaped forests. I've got a good selection of trees. In fact, it's a very simple selection of trees on this map. Just the two things, the generic set and the lodgepole pines, and they work really well together. So I think there's a lot of credit to be given for how that's been done. We've got some interesting waterways as well, including a wetland area over here. And again, it'd be interesting to see what this looks like with the actual suggested theme. But even with the Cedar Valley 4K, which is the recommended alternative, this is still a very nice little area. Beautifully done. Good alternative theme selection. We got rivers. We'll have a little look at this river. We've got a little bit of flooding on this river. But this river's a little bit troublesome. Just a little bit, right? We've got a bit of flooding, which I don't mind, actually. I don't mind. But then when you get to here, you can see part of the flooding is caused by lumpy water. We've got the lumps and we've got the bumps. Working a river like this is very, very difficult to do very, very well. And there's just a little bit of trouble going on with that one. We've got a quarry. The quarry's very deep. We've even got some vehicles down. I don't know how they got down here. There's cliffs everywhere. But there are a couple of vehicles down here in the quarry. Just in case you want to nick one. I'm not promising they're going to work. But they might. We've got the essential lighthouse. This is going to scare you. Tell you what, you'll never have a shipwreck here. You will never, ever, ever have a shipwreck right here. Because that is the most ludicrous place for I don't know if there's one there in real life. If there is, Switzerland, why? Why Switzerland? Why? We've got another river here. We've got a drowned tree. You may have spotted one or two before now. There are one or two others. That one's quite obvious, so I thought I'd showcase that one. May not be the most obvious one on the map, but it is one that we were flying over to have a look at a perfectly lovely river with a perfectly lovely lake at the top. See, that's a better river. It goes to show Hospental. ALPENTRAINER can do rivers. Then what's going on down here? This is a secondary start location, but again, we've got some abandoned vehicles. Perhaps this is just to indicate that this is an area for building on, because we've already got vehicles down there, maybe. But yeah, anyway, there's that. And then here, what a great view. So there's absolutely nothing down here that could possibly spoil this view. It is absolutely gorgeous. Nothing here could apart from the shipping route. I mean, there's nothing else here that would spoil the view apart from the shipping route. Have you got your trunks on? This switchback, it just feels very awkward. I don't know why it's elevated. Is it there in real life? Is it elevated in real life? I don't know. I haven't had time to go and check because I spent too long trying to get the theme and the LUT to match. But yeah, that just feels a little bit awkward. Whether or not it is actually realistic, I don't know. Let's head over to the start square because we've got a lovely little asset pack of the day. Two different things for the price of one. It's the DDR Altbau 3x3 corner 90 degree number 1 by MeisterMonis. Old buildings, these ones. These are different from the Plattenbau, which were obviously the concrete plaque things, slab things, you know. Anyway, old buildings by MeisterMonis. And factoids, because factoids. Hospental, locally Hospental, I apologise, is a municipality in the canton of Uri, or possibly Uri, in Switzerland. Hospental is first mentioned in 1285 as Hospental. In 1499 it is mentioned under its Latin name as Hospitium, and in 1616 as Spital. The population of Hospental in 2014 was a massive 196. I mean, that is just a cozy number, isn't it? I mean, everybody knows everybody else's business in a town that size. If you live in a location with a population smaller than 196, please let me know in the comments. And do you know everybody's business? I'm loving this. This is great. Look, we've got like the broken windows you can see inside, and it's all just like wasted and smashed up. DDR Altbau 3x3 corner 9-degree number 1 by MeisterMonis. That is a very nice European building if you're doing a European build. Now, this surprised me. I thought this would have sorted itself out by now. I actually went to bed with the game running. So this has been running overnight, about 8 hours, and we've still got traffic looping in and out and around. So definitely another thing there, Traffic Manager Present Edition, to have this one working smoothly. Anyway, are you active? Are you wanting to get active? Are you wanting to vote on the map? You should be. You should be. Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewers' Choice Top 10. Click the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen, or the link in the description. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple, or a Patreon account. Have you done it? Good. Now I'm going to tell you what I think. Aesthetically, I like this. And of course, it'll be at least a half star better with the correct theme and LUT. Even with it being a bit on the dark side, I think the design of the map is good. I think the shapes are good. I think we've got a really good theme. It's all that, it's a bit dark. I'm still going to go 4 stars, but I'm going to go towards the lower end. But imagine if this was, well, if it was, I'm not going. I'm moving on. Detailing on the whole is very good, but we've got a lot of drowned trees and trees under the roads and whatever, where I don't feel there should be, and 1 or 2 questionable bits that I haven't checked, but they're probably questionable, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go for a very high 3 stars. And gameplay potential, I'm also going to go for a very high 3 stars. I feel that this actually probably should be higher, but Hospental by ALPENTRAINER is it's not there for the big city, but it's probably a detailer's build, but it just feels a bit fiddly for fixing everything for a detailer's build, and it doesn't really feel like a general build, and it does feel like it needs quite a little bit of work going on here and there before you get started with Traffic Manager, and so hence I'm only going for a high 3, but it's, look, if you want to play it, all power to you. If you want to play it, you are going to have a good game with that one. It's a good looking map, good shapes. I like shapes. I like you if you're still here because you're part of the 20 and out elite. Show me how much I need to love you by putting the word of the day in the comments, and I'll be back tomorrow. Have a great day.